Hello, I've got another video for you today on Shattered Vale Mansion, EU host, and this was an EU custom, so no guns, no challenges, etc. And it's me, Flood, Potato Shooter John Tor against Modge, Lips, Babsy, and Alistar. And we start off on round 16, and I just thought this zombie was pretty hilarious. He's kind of stuck in a ballet pirouette position. I'm not sure how he got into that position, but there we go. Now moving on to the next ammo round. It's round 20. Alistar is low on armor, and I managed to get him to ether there. And a little bit later on in the same round, I'm putting some pressure on Modge. And he must have been low, but he ends up using a stim, and he's absolutely fine. Round 23 now, and me, Flood, and Alistar are in the main hall. Flood's getting very low on armor, he's got none in fact, and he has to ether. And Alistar's having some trouble in this corner, and he also ends up having to ether. Now next round, we're having a little battle at the armor table, and I end up wedging Modge against this wall. Alistar's blocking me in, and they have to ether. Jumping forward about 30 seconds, and Lips and Modge are pressuring John Tor, and they take his dying wish. However, I've got a brain-rotted doppelgast here who's about to put in some work. Lips has to jump off, and Modge uses an ether. Now unfortunately 3 people crash all at the same time, John Tor, Flood and Babsy. Flood joins back, so in effect this has just turned from a 4v4 to a 3v3. And on the next demo round, I'm getting pressured by Modge, by Lips, and as I'm trying to leave, Alistar comes in. But I do make it out. 2 rounds later now, and Flood has bled out, so just me and Potato left. And Alistar is down, so I'm trying to stop Modge from getting to the revive. I throw a shock charge there, but I think he sees that and avoids it going up the stairs. Gets some distance from me, and it's actually Lips who ends up getting the revive. However, Alistar goes down once again here, and Lips ethers to get the revive, but I'm there to prevent it. However, I get surrounded very quickly, and then I end up having to ether, and they do get the revive. However, I'm trying to stop Modge from going to get armor, and me and Potato block him there, and I think that was actually Lips who ethers to help him out. Jumping 90 seconds forward now to the start of the Frozen. I'm trying to defend this upper area that's quite safe. Knock down Alistar from the ladder. However, as I'm killing that doppelgast, Modge does manage to sneak up, and so we take our relative positions in opposite corners, just trying to ride out this Frozen. However, this amalgam has other ideas. Luckily, it goes straight to Modge. But I know Modge is about to jump down, so I've got to do the same, but that amalgam will go for me. I have to ether because I'm so low. That's causing a lot of pressure for the other team though, and Alistar does go down. I get ahead of Modge here. However, he gets a nice hot foot activation, gets ahead of me. Outplays me there, so I've got to jump down. I'm very low on health. I try and get a hot foot, but that doesn't work. Lips gets stuck, has to ether, and I do make it out. Now round 31, Flood is back with almost all his perks. And I come into the library here to see Modge get a nice grief on Potato Shooter. I get the quick revive. And me and Flood are trying to grief Alistar and Modge now in these corridors. Try to block the armor table. wedge Moj in between a couple of doppelgasts, but then I get grabbed from behind. However, Moj must have been really low because he did still have to ether. I'm really low on armor now though, and Moj is trying to stop me from getting armor, but I just throw a shock charge and I'm fine. Next round now, and we're all battling in these little corridors. It's getting very hectic. And Lips is griefing the absolute shit out of me. Yes, the Lips. Someone on their team is forced to ether. That also causes Flood to have to ether. And I make it out. We've got Frozen in just under 3 minutes. Alistar gets grabbed. And he's kind of stuck in that corner there. Has to use an RCXD. Moj sees a full power on the floor there. Grabs it. And Lips instantly utilizes that to use an ether. I've got 0 armor left at this point. I throw 2 shock charges down. Just to be extra secure there. And manage to fully get 6 armor plates back. And Potato Shooter also had to ether as he was very low as well. Jumping ahead just 15 seconds now. And it's getting very hectic in this libraries. Everyone's in here. Alistar loses a dying wish, has to ether. He's going to get armor. I try and throw a shock charge to prevent him, but I think it was a little bit too late. However, I'm going to keep the pressure up on him. But as I'm doing so, Flood loses his dying wish and goes down. So now we're trying to go for the revive, but it's just so busy in here. There's so many shock charges getting thrown as well. There's like 5 Elder Disciples, as well as an Amalgam. And Alistar and Moj are griefing us, trying to prevent the revive. They ether as well. As soon as I see that, I know I've got to ether. So all those zombies will be coming for me. And I do manage to make it over to Flood and get the revive. However, Potato is now getting griefed by their ether. Loses a dying wish, but he's okay in the end. Next round now, and it is an ammo round. And I'm trying to grief Lips in this corridor. However, the Amalgam grabs Moj behind me. And Lips does manage to get free and get armor. Now I'm getting very low on armor. Just over 1 plate. I jump down trying to get it. However, I get cooked by some smoke grenades. And loads of zombies are coming in at the same time. And I lose a dying wish. And have to ether. I use that ether though to get my armor.
Gratuitous violence and avoiding people. It's like a dream come true.
And Flood goes down in the corner, and I throw a smoke on him for some reason, not sure why. I get a hot foot activation there. Potato goes down. I lose all my armor, but I just managed to get out. I think without the hot foot activation, I would have been a goner. I get my quick revive back here. But I'm also very low on armor. I've just got 2 plates. I'm coming for the revive on Potato, but Moj is right there to stop me. I buy some armor off the wall here, but Moj and Alistar are right on my tail chasing me. Battling with Moj here. However, all these elites start going for me. I just managed to sneak out with low health and no armor. However, they're keeping the pressure up. Got no armor. The Disciple takes my dying wish there, and Moj finishes me off. Now we're actually going to jump back about 30 seconds and watch this from Moj's perspective for about 60 seconds. So Potato and Flood are both down, and they're trying to stop me getting the revives. He comes out now just as I'm coming for the revive, and does stop me. And this is where him and Alistar are chasing me.
Look at them. Their team is falling apart. That's what I like to see. Amongst others.
We're battling amongst all these elites, and Moj loses a Dying Wish. I didn't realise that first time around. He's got less than 1 armor plate. He heals up, but he's keeping the pressure on me, staying aggressive. And he greets me nicely there. Now, I've got a choice. I can either go for a quick self-revive and keep the 3 perks, or I can wait and keep just 2. And because it's so hectic, I end up deciding to go for just 2. So that means I'll have just Deadshot, Daiquiri, and Jug left. And without PhD or Stamina Up, you are a bit of a sitting duck, so this is going to be tricky to survive. Let's see how it goes. So I do revive just now. Moj is right on top of me. I buy armor off the wall there. Managed to get a little bit of distance by jumping over the ledge. However, Moj gets the hot foot and catches up to me. Griefs me nicely here, and I'm forced to use an RCXD. Moj is getting very low himself on health and armor. I jump over the ledge, get a little bit of distance, and at this point we'll jump back to my perspective just as I'm using the RCXD. So that entire sequence there where I'm getting griefed, I'm so low on health and armor. I get a little bit of distance here, but he catches up once again. Obviously, I'm just trying to get some perks back. Moj has to back off though because he's so low at this point as well. I'm trying to buy more perks, but some kind of bug where it only let me bought 1 and then took me out the menu. So I still don't have many Macchiato. I keep cutting back here because there's just zombies in every direction I'm going. Down to less than 1 armor plate. Buy it off the wall once again. Moj is griefing me here. Can't really melee without many Macchiato, but I do manage to sneak past him, and Moj goes down. And that gives me the space that I needed to go and get all my pegs back. So it's back to a 3 versus 1 with me kind of fully recovered now. And that's Lips going down there. Alistar goes down right in front of me. Just Moj left up. And he's losing a Dying Wish right below me. He's basically got no armor at this point. I throw a smoke just because I'm a G like that, I guess. And Moj uses an RCXD. At this point, I'm just trying to get out of this library and leave Moj with all the zombies.
Some of you maggot munchers aren't worth the squeeze of the trigger.
And he does end up going down.